Well, I had the wonderful privilege of being raised in a Christian home. I was born and raised in California. However, my parents did have a terrible drug addiction. That was, they drug us to church every Sunday, Wednesday, every time the doors were open. So at a young age, I learned about heaven and hell, and like any child would, I didn't want to go to hell. So I made a profession of faith as a young child. Part of my upbringing also, my parents drilled into me that to live happily ever after, I needed a married Christian man. So I thought, well, this is great, this is exciting. I'll go from California to Virginia and go to this college to find me a husband. 2 weeks into going to school there, I was in a personal evangelism class under Dr. Heinzen, and he was giving the 10 evidences of salvation. And as he was going through each of the evidences, I thought, I don't have them. And so I went back to my dorm, got on my knees, and I took all the head knowledge that I had as a child and made it a heart relationship. So now my whole purpose for college changed. No longer was it out to find a husband, but it was to get to know my Lord and Savior and grow with Him. God did bring into my life my second year a wonderful man that we dated for 3 years, graduated, and we got married. And unfortunately, 19 years later, I found myself a widow, and my husband died at the age of 40. And so my teacup was shattered. Now there was broken pieces. No longer was I this pretty little teacup, but I had all these broken pieces. I have 3 choices of what I can do with these broken pieces. I can either take these broken pieces and be angry at God, put it in my fist and be angry at Him, or women are really good at this. We like to fix our pieces. And so we want to put it back together so we can look like everybody else. Richard and I met 6 years later and got married. And I thought, oh, this is wonderful. God has given me back my teacup, my happily ever after. Well, 3 months after we were married, I got the phone call of a mother's worst nightmare, and my 24-year-old son was killed in a car accident. So again, my teacup had shattered, now more pieces. I couldn't put it back together again. And so God just gave me another visual of that I needed to give him these broken pieces. So it's been neat to see how God has taken my brokenness and stretched me far beyond that I could imagine. I've been able to share in Costa Rica, in Ghana, Africa, and even in the prison ministry. That's how I got started. Was first I was asked to come share my testimony. And so I'm thankful for that He's not done with me. And so I'm excited to see what God has in the future for me. My name's Eleanor Moskowitz, and that's my faith story.
This is my story. This is my song, praising my Savior all the day long.